Hello everyone, welcome to the road trip. This is it. It is a busy time in the Premier League. Lots of games. It seems like there's a game every 2 days right now. It's that crazy stage of the season. We missed it while the World Cup was on. We knew it was coming. We knew it was going to be frantic and mental. And there was going to be a lot of running around, travelling, a lot of games. How can a squad cope? Well, we're in the middle of it now and we're being faced, or we're up against one of our toughest oppositions in the Premier League over the last few years, especially away from home at Molineux against Wolves. It's always been a tough game. I think we've won there twice since Wolves have been back in the Premier League, back up into the big time. It's not been a ground that we've done well on. It's been a ground where the games haven't been that great. They've not been the best watches. And to be honest, that fits in quite well with this time of year and the fixture congestion and what is important in these games now. What is important in these games right now is that you get the result. You get the points on the board. Forget about performance. That will come later on. We'll get a rhythm. But third game back from the World Cup. We've got 2 out of the way. We've won both of them comfortably. This is our toughest game since coming back from the World Cup. And for me, I feel like Wolves, if we get through this one, then we're looking at a few games then. What have we got next? We've got Bournemouth, then we've got Charlton, we've got Everton. And I think then we've got City and Arsenal towards the back end of December. So, yeah, plenty of games that we can win and build up a bit of momentum going into them big games against Arsenal and City. But today, Wolves, it's going to be hard. It's going to be very difficult. Do not expect Manchester United to have the easy ride that we've had against Burnley and Nottingham Forest, respectively, over the last couple of games at Old Trafford. This is probably our toughest game over this period by a country mile. Lopetegui coming in for Wolves worries me a little bit because of his organisation, his nous and his know-how. And Wolves already knowing and having our number in terms of how to really get under our skin and play against us. This is Ten Hag's first outing against Wolves. So will it be different than how it's been under Solskjaer, under Mourinho, under Ralph Rangnick? It is one of them games where you just don't know. I'm going to go with my gut feeling that this is going to be a low-scoring game. Manchester United to take it 1-0, I would say. It's going to be hard work and a hard watch. Now, yeah, it may completely go role reversal and we have this swashbuckling game where United perform really well and surprise us all. Early kickoff at Wolves, I think that's a new one for us. Don't think we've ever played here in an early kickoff. So will that change things? I don't know. I'm looking at every sort of angle of this game as why it may be different to the last few times that we've played here, because in them last few times we have been at Molineux, it has been insanely hard work. And it is going to be the same again, simply because Wolves were organised before Lopetegui came. And yeah, they had a bad start. And I think it's just caught up with them. Not being able to score goals has finally caught up with Wolves, and that's why they are in that position in the league right now. But the manager change and the new manager bounce, and then the money that's going to be invested in Wolves over the next month in January, I feel, then I do believe that Wolves will be safe this season. We've got them probably just before all these new players come in, just in time for that. Obviously, no new signings available just yet. But still, they're going to be organised. They're on a 2-game winning run straight back from the World Cup like ourselves. So they're buoyant. This is Lopetegui's first league home game in front of the fans. I don't know if there's going to be an unveiling. I don't know if they had an unveiling in their League Cup game that they played already under Lopetegui since we've come back from the World Cup. But there'll be a buzz about the air. I mean, we've seen it straight away when we went to Aston Villa, when Unai Emery was unveiled. They had that bounce and we pretty much got steamrolled in 20 minutes and we found it too hard to come back. We cannot allow that to happen. We can't allow the occasion and how Wolves are going to come at us to get on top of us. We've got to expect what's coming, which is a hard-working, disciplined, tracking back, pressing Wolves team that will wait for a mistake from us. The one thing that gives me a little bit more confidence going into this Wolves games to games previously in seasons gone by is the fact that we've got Varane and Martinez back for this game. Martinez will return for this game. I'd be surprised if he didn't. I mean, there'll be a late change because we're hearing that Martinez is definitely going to be in the team. So Varane and Martinez be back. Shaw will then be playing. And obviously, I think we'll have Wan-Bissaka at right back as well in that one, in that back four. So I do have more confidence, because Wolves have always pressed on us and waited for us to make a mistake in these games. And it's ultimately been us that have lost the games. Wolves have a great game plan against United. They know how to beat us and get under our skin, like I said. And it is basically waiting for United to make a mistake. I don't feel like we've got that mistake in us as much now. With Varane and Martinez being back and then Casemiro in front of them, I'm feeling a lot more confident that we should be able to not be caught cold, because in the games that we've had this season and the games where we've been battered away from home, Brentford, Villa, City, you look at it and we've been out the game within about half an hour. But all of them games we've been beaten in half an hour. We just have to be solid, and the longer games go on, the more confident I am that United will win games. All we have to be, and it's a blueprint that we just have to follow, just stay in the game, stay tight early doors, and don't make a mistake against this sort of team. Because if they get any sort of sniff of blood or get any sort of inkling that United are buckling a little bit and they get their noses in front, then the fans will play on it. It will just feed into the atmosphere that is Molineux when they're in front, because it's the complete opposite when they're not, and it gets a bit quiet and a bit sour. And they are, like I said, in the relegation zone. If things don't start going their way, then the fans aren't going to help them as much. It's been a long, hard season already, like we've discussed. So United just need to be solid and not give any stupid mistakes away. And I think our quality will show through. We've got Martial in form, we've got Rashford in form, Bruno, Eriksen, Casemiro all in form. The back four, like I said then, I just explained why I've got more confidence in that now going into this game. But is that one player up front on the right-hand side that we haven't quite got down yet. Anthony wasn't great against Nottingham Forest, but he's got time. We've got options there, though, because we've got Garnacho that can come in, Alanga can play. Obviously, I would prefer Anthony to be playing in this game today and hopefully get a little bit better than what he was. I know he needs a few more games from his injury and he wasn't available, and then he played a few games in the World Cup. He's not really started or had a consistent run yet, so I'd like to see him get back to that sort of Arsenal-Everton form when he was scoring goals and being a real threat, because he is tenacious, he works hard, he tracks back, he's strong. I think if we channel that and get him a bit more game time and get him in sync with the rest of the front players, because like I said, I'm looking at Eriksen and Bruno in form, Rashford and Martial both scoring and linking up again. We're actually going into this game this time a bit different, because we've got players actually in really, really good form. And it's good to see. It gives you a little bit more confidence that we've got a bit of a spine this time, and we're not going to get steamrolled like we have done in previous games just this season alone. So yeah, look at Luke Shaw as well at the back, in great form. David De Gea back to his best. And we're not seeing that uncertainty as much in games. That's all I'll say. Defensively, we're looking absolutely mint at the moment. We're hardly conceding goals. But there is that fear that we have got that capitulation in us still. And it's just a little reminder. The Villa game was probably a good thing, because it just reminded us of what we can be like. Don't take your eye off the ball, especially in games like this. And I think Ten Hag will use that Villa game as an inspiration for the Wolves game today and say, look, if we are not on it early doors and you don't stick to the plan, you're not winning your mini battles with other players, then this is what can happen to you. And by that time, no matter how well you play in the rest of the game, it's too far to come back from. We're not scoring many goals this season. We've only got 23. It was nice to see a few go in against Nottingham Forest. But ultimately, our strength has been built off our defence and staying in games this season so far. The 1-0 wins, the close wins away from home, like the Fulhams, like the Leicester, the Southamptons, them games are the ones that have got us to where we are in the league this season. Our home form is great. We're on the back of a really good run there, solid, and I think we can take anyone on at Old Trafford. But these away games are where it's hit us hard this season, and why we're not comfortably in that top four. Like the games I mentioned before, the Brentford, the City, and the Aston Villa. I mean, even if you'd have took a draw against Brentford and Aston Villa, which on paper we should be doing, we right now would be in the top four. It's as simple as that. And people wouldn't be looking at this frail defence, and there wouldn't be that sort of negativity and that sort of thought process of we can still capitulate like we can do. We take them 2 games out of it. City is City. We got caught cold after a month off coming back, and we were beaten in 20 minutes. It's what's happened in these games. If United were just switched on for 20 minutes, we won't be getting anywhere near the amount of goals that we've conceded. It's ridiculous how many goals we've conceded this season, because the majority of them have come in them 3 games. 13 goals out of 20 we've conceded this season have been in them 3 games I'm talking about. It doesn't It doesn't look right. It shouldn't be that way on paper, but you have to count the big losses that come your way as well. It's a lot better than what it seems on paper. We are solid. We've got a lot of clean sheets, and we're up there with the most clean sheets in the season. I think we've got 6 now or something like that for David De Gea. It is going well. The defence is solid. We've just got to stay switched on in these games, and it's this type of game today where it can all go wrong for us. And I am confident that we can get that 1-0 win, which I think we will get. I haven't got enough confidence in us scoring 2 or 3 against a team like Wolves yet. I've got confidence that we can shut them out, and I've got confidence that we're going to take that one chance. But it's that little thing in the back of my mind that I was just talking about then. There's always a chance that we can just have that 10-15 minute lapse and things go completely wrong. And that's where not being able to score 2 or 3 goals in a game is going to come back to bite us on the arse, because that's what you're going to need to get back into these games. We just haven't got enough goals in us yet. Martial still not being able to play 90 minutes consecutively. Rashford is on fire, and that is great, but he can't do it on his own in terms of the goal scoring. We need more from Bruno. We need more from Martial, and probably Eriksen as well in terms of the goal scoring. And obviously Anthony needs to start playing a little bit better and helping out. If that comes in, then I'm confident that we are going to be able to start scoring 2 and 3 in a game, especially away from home where we've struggled to score any at all this season. I mean, I think we're on about -5 or something goal difference away from home this season. Obviously, them games count for a lot of that, but the truth is we're not being able to score a lot of goals away from home. The defence has carried us a long, long way, and I've said this a few times this season. Stay switched on. If we're solid at the back, we win this game. It's as simple as that. Or is it as simple as that? Because sometimes the simple things are what we've not done right, and it's where it's cost us so far this season. Let me know what you think, guys. Drop your comments in below. Like, share, and subscribe to the United Stand. Let me know what you think of this game today. How do you see it going? Who would you play in that front three with Martial and Rashford? Is it Garnacho, Elanga, or Antony? You're confident now that Martinez is back? Do you feel like that gives you that little bit more going into games like this, like I've just described? Cheers for watching, everybody. I'll see you after the game. Hopefully me talking about a United win. And at that moment, we will be in top 4 before anyone else plays if United get the W in this game. Speak to you after the game.